Hey guys, it's me, Fake Pineapple Man again, and here I am with the Sunset Guide. I hope you enjoy. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so first things first, talk about the flash. I do this in every Kayo guide I make, but if you've seen it before, watch it anyway, because, you know, abusing the algorithm and all that. If you're running forwards, it's 15 meters. If you're standing still, it's 25, and if you're running forward, 30 meters. 35. So what that means is, okay, you see a distance like an object, okay, this is 16 meters, you just run backwards and throw, that's basically where it's gonna pop. If you're going back a little bit, 25, 26 meters, that's where it pops, basically. And use that to your knowledge to wing flashes. Let's say you want to flash for main, 23, okay, maybe you bounce it there, you see a flash for elbow, okay, that's 22, let's say a bit further back it's 24, so you just throw it like this. And that's basically gonna be the perfect pop flash. You might want to save a meter or two just in case, to, you know, rather travel a bit too far than not far enough. But yeah, that's basically the whole idea of winging flashes. Now let's go entrance to entrance on defense and then on attack. Starting things off on aiming, this is your perfect pop flash. You basically run into this box. I would recommend that you start with your gun out, break the camera so they don't see you, and then you basically aim here. You put the edge of the knife on the edge of this box, and it's basically gonna pop above. So what this flash does is it doesn't get your players, because, you know, they're usually going to be in this line, or even if they're like back here holding this angle, they're still not going to get affected. But what it does is the enemies that are here, they're going to see it pop here, and they basically have no time to turn it. So unless they're playing anti-flash, they're not going to be able to dodge this. So this is the perfect pop flash you have for aiming. The one other one you can use is also just stand here, and this is about a perfect distance to bounce it. So basically if you want to bounce it, you aim at this edge. And if you don't want to bounce it, you go a little bit further up and a bit deeper. But I would recommend you just use this one as a default, and then maybe switch it up if you're in the middle of a round or you don't have time to line it up, or if you're playing closer, depending on where you go. There's also a knife you want to use if they're pushing you already through. Like this is the knife I use if they are already in the elbow. Like if you, for example, your duelist didn't fight elbow, they pushed him off. Okay, good knife for info, good knife for stalling. And that's basically about all the setups you can do. You can also have like a guy play sight. You can also flash for him in elbow like this. But again, you just use meters. That's not really a lineup. You just stand about in this area and you just throw. And that's gonna be perfect for your elbow. So that's basically all the stuff on aiming. You can also start it with your knives on aiming like this, or just here. It gets most of the area, but if they're playing further back, it's not gonna get them. So maybe consider swapping it a few times, throw it deeper. And yeah, you just jiggle it around, see what you do. Moving on to top middle, I really have no great stuff here. I've had a flash that I wanted to use a few times, it never works. So don't use that. I had a flash from here to up there, and just don't do that. It doesn't get tiles. Someone's always not blinded. There's way too much coverage in this area. So what I would recommend, if you're at the beginning of the round, you just stand at this wall and you can pop a flash there and you just throw it, or you can step a little further back because it's like, you know, 24, 25 meters. But this is just for tiles if you want to push at the beginning of the round. And the distance for this is also perfect. If you start here, you can just do a running flash, and it's also going to be good for bottom mid. So whatever your duelist is pushing, you can just work this out between them or your teammates or whoever. You can also switch it up, throw it on the left side. There's also a chance it pops behind the box like this. And yeah, like if you just want to do this like you saw, just aim at those flowers and you're going to be fine. So this is a run throw, and this is a standing still throw. And this is basically the flashes for middle. You can also do this knife from time to time, or this one, depending on the read you have. This one's pretty good because it's hard to break, and so is this one. So that's basically all the stuff I have for middle. If you want to start in market though, there's not really any great pop flashes you can do. You can just play around this area. You can use the knife for B main, but again, this one doesn't even get much. So what I like to do if I play on B, I just save my knife and just use it there to see once they use stuff. But you can also do a pop flash for tiles. It's just a running throw. So yeah, just use the penguin method I explained in the beginning. This is basically what I do. I'm just trying to give you some ideas on how to play the map. So yeah, this is the idea for the flash if you're gonna play in market. And you can also start the round here and throw it here, and then fall back so you don't get picked off. But that's basically how you play around middle. Moving on towards B, I have two pop flashes for main. One of them is from here. So basically you see this dark tile, you go one more back here, you aim here, and you aim at this light. So this one pops into A main. It's gonna get basically everyone. It's basically impossible to dodge. Well, what the Alright, let's try this again. So the first flash is basically here, and you aim at this light, and the second one you go to this dark one and you aim to this light, and that's basically two flashes. The right one is if people are gonna pick from here, and the left one is people are gonna you know, cross at the beginning and pick to there. So differentiate between these two. You can also do this one if people are close. You just gotta explain to your teammate, yo bro, it's gonna flash in front of you, so turn away before you pick. And yeah, that's the two flashes I use. I also have this knife for B. You go into this corner and then put this part of the crosshair into this little corner here. And this is gonna land on elbow on A. This is a cross map knife. And it's also not breakable. So it gets like a lot of info early. Let's say for example your teammates know you're like the enemies are towards A. You get the info, okay, I don't need the knife now, I'll just use it for you. And then maybe you stall the push a couple seconds, which could be the difference in the round. But yeah, this is basically the two flashes you use. So it's basically anywhere in this area, but the lineup is basically here. And you just throw, and the other one is here, and you just throw. And that's basically what I have to cover on defense. I don't really use other setups. You can try to wing stuff with right clicks and stuff, but that's really different between mid-round. You can also do an aggressive knife here if you are feeling it, or through the window, depending on where you start on the round. Just careful with this one, because it goes pretty deep if you miss it. So yeah, that's about it. Let's go to attack. Starting off in B-main, I only have this flash. You can just come into the corner here at the beginning of the round and you aim here. Like just a bit off the wall and a bit above the box, and it's just gonna pop in main. You might want to ask your Cypher to put a camera here to see if anybody crosses, and if nobody crosses, this is basically free main for you. Because anybody who's gonna be looking there, it's gonna be just fully flashed, and then off of that you can either decide if you wanna try to use your nades to break the Cypher trip, or wanna knife them, or whatever it is between that. You also have two knife lineups. They're pretty similar, but they don't land on the same spot. So you put this part of the crosshair into the shadow here, and then the other one is right here. And this is where they land. First one's here, and second one's down here. I like to use the first one a lot more, because ciphers usually start around the market area with the camera window. And if you do suppress them, that basically gives you a free execute on B. You break his stuff for free, like the one kill trip, the one-way trip. And yeah, just execute on that if you have the chance to. And that's basically all the stuff you have for B-main. There's not really great lineups here, because market is super covered. The roofs just don't allow for it. So that's the whole idea of playing B-main. Moving on to middle, you have two ways to play. You can either start here or start from tiles. If you want to start from here, anywhere, you just aim at the top of the antenna. You have a flash for top mid. Just explain to your teammates that if they're going to be jumping here, they're going to get flashed. But if they do go close, they will not be affected by it. But it gets like the right side top middle, but the left one is kind of exposed to it, so it's not going to get blinded, so careful for that. You can also do this knife. It's not really great, either one of these two. It doesn't get a lot, but it gets some info if you need it. But basically what you try to do is take some space in middle, knife market. This usually doesn't get broken, or if it does, you get info from it, so you can use that. Let's say somebody is close left and breaks it, okay, you can try to punish that to get a kill. And yeah, just play off of your duelists. Like you can also walk up middle, you see a smoke top mid, okay, ping the corner, yo, go close, just throw a random left click flash through smoke, get top mid for free. You can do a B split, A split from basically the spawn if you get that, which is a really important area to fight in my opinion, especially if you have a Kayo, because you don't really provide that much. So yeah, if you are not gonna go for those risky plays, might as well pick breach in the first place. But if you do want to stick to Kayo, basically doing flashes like this through smokes is gonna be super valuable on this map. And if you do start from tiles, you basically just throw this knife, or you can do a flash through window, decide between the two. There's not really a lineup for this. You can stand further back, let's say at this, and just throw it through. But either way, there's gonna be this pillar that's gonna be preventing you from really getting high value flashes in middle. So I normally don't really flash through this window, but it is an option if you have a read the there, for example, here. So that's basically all the stuff I use for middle. And now last but not least, let's go towards A main. So A main is basically the area you should be starting off most of the time. If you have a Kayo on your team, you should be playing towards A main a lot. Try to fight them on A. The first two flashes I'm gonna show you is the first one. You go to this wall and you aim above this window on this line, so basically between the two flags, and it's gonna flash right through the window. What this one does is basically gets anybody holding this area, or basically even here, it's still gonna get them, and it also gets people who are playing in elbow. So this flash I would recommend if you're contacting, playing slow, but whichever you do, because if people walk up here, they're gonna get fully flashed even if they're looking like this. This is still on their screen, so that flash is really good if you're playing slow. But if you want to start fast, you just go here at the beginning of the round, like wherever the wall is, and you aim above the fourth window, and you go up to this line. So this line on the bridge, Fourth window, you just diagonally throw. Bang. It doesn't even get your teammates who are not who are in main, so that's pretty good. But it gets basically the entire elbow area. If you have a neon, raise, jets, tell them, yo guys, this is a one-time opportunity for you to get your free kill. And you just throw it, they dash, satchel, slide, whatever it is they have, and you just try to punish the elbow guy. So that's basically the idea behind the flashes. You use one or the other, and then at the beginning of the round you stand in the same corner. You put the edge of this HUD into the corner here. So it's like this, and you just throw. This is also a knife for default. So how I like to combo this is throw a flash, throw a knife. Takes a bit of time to line it up sometimes, but it gets the entire side. Like with the flash, you're supposed to get the elbow area, and then the knife just basically complements it perfectly, and you just get everything for free. No, not for free, but it's gonna be a lot easier on you. So yeah, just be careful about elbow. You might want to clear this with a nade once you're coming through, so maybe like just nade like this. But that's basically the utility I use. If you want to go out with the flash, maybe just bouncing it off like this is not the worst idea. Just make sure they're close enough, so it goes far enough. Otherwise it's gonna get your teammates. Make sure they don't aim too high, because it's gonna bounce, and that might get you. But yeah, that's basically the whole util. How I would recommend playing as Kayo: on attack, play towards A-main; on defense, play towards A-main. Fight for A-main as much as you can, that's your strength. You have one-way flashes, you have very good pop flashes. That's basically the idea. B-main is very hard to play on defense, especially convincing your ciphers to go A, just to fight B-main, where people just don't play B, at least not in my elo. I don't know how it works in yours. But yeah, that's basically all of my setups. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, tell me what you want me to improve on. I'm trying to get better at making guides, but I'm just freestyling it, as you can see. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.